God, I know it's been a while, but we really got to cut back on the stream swears, guys. Like just a
Yeah.
little bit, like racial slurs and all. Just cut them back.
Yeah. It's really bad, Chris.
Yeah, so he's mute now. He doesn't want to say anything.
Chris, see if
Typical. Now he
talking
shuts
about that after the stream.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, welcome back, everybody.
Yay.
Do you want to play some D&D?
Hell yeah.
What's D&D?
Hell yeah, brother! It's D&D time. Anyway, picking up where we left off. Party on their way to Zepharel, traveling along a caravan of other tieflings looking to make their pilgrimage. Originally headed by the human male Grant and his tiefling partner Brial. Um, you joined up with, made your way through the caverns, fought off some different ambushes from horn hunters and creatures, and were making good time. Other than the unfortunate passing of Grant, Brial, readying the troops and continuing on with all of your help, kept moving forward through the desert out of the Hell's Valley that you made it through. On an evening's rest somewhere deep in the desert, a couple days away from Zepharel, you are ambushed in the night by a large hunting party of horn hunters. A silent spell cast upon the camp cut out your ability to communicate with each other and cast spells. As you rushed to shake each other awake, get out of the silence so you could speak and cast your magics, you ran into Ravi first, a large individual flanked by many of these, hooded, dark cloaked figures. He asked you to do this the easy way and put your weapons down and surrender, to which you threw a fireball, blasting several of them back. You watched as the large hulking figure kind of grinned through it and passed. As a fight ensued, you held your own for a bit until Ravi unfortunately went down, surrounded by many of these lower level grunts, threatening to, at his word, kill him if you didn't surrender. Eventually, after realizing your position, you threw down your weapons or given permission to heal Ravi before his life left his body. As they gathered the rest of you in camps, took your weapons and any noticeable threatening objects off of you, the large captain that you've kind of gotten a sense and heard word from your previous prisoner was a tough son of a bitch and lived up to the hype. As he berated you, talking about what was going to happen next, you watched as Brial stood up from the crowd, told Zane to stop fucking around and let's just get on with it. He left you all shackled, took your carts, your horses, your goods, left you enough food and water to mostly make it back safe, left you your armor so you could be somewhat protected. But Brial, the Horn Hunters, absconded away with Saishori, Norman, Tefet, Breath, and Lyle, the 5 tieflings that traveled in your party. As they rode off into the distance, 7, you broke the chain. You broke yours and everyone else's chains. You gathered with Sunny and the other caravan members. Sunny, equally pissed, decided that you would kill that bitch. You made some calls. You rested for the evening, and woke up the next day and prepared for what comes next. But jumping back a little bit, Saishori. As you and the other tieflings are loaded into the cart, you watch as you pull away from the small fire, your friends shackled and left in the distance. You find yourself without weapon, without your friends, without Draconis. little to your left, you see Tefet shaking, crying, kind of nuzzled into Norman, her brother's arm, as he wraps his arms the best around her he can with his hands shackled. He puts on a brave face, but it's not hard for you to see that he is just trying to put on a face for his sister and the rest of you. Huddled in the other side of the cart, um, you see Breath and Lyle, the mother and son, still hoods pulled tight around them, also lightly shaking, just kind of light sobbing coming from a corner. The five of you in this hooded wagon, unsure of your fate, unsure of what comes next. So, Sherry, how do you feel in this moment? What would you like to do in a sense?
I feel like pure rage, but I'll just say to the other tieflings in the cart, don't fear for your lives. We're worth more alive. And I want to see what do I still have on me, and are my hands bound in front of me and back of me?
Yep. So looking around, your hands are shackled in front of you. Your feet are also shackled. They didn't take the time to strip you of your armor, but any weaponry you had on you is currently not on your possession. Um, Anything small and trinkety you would probably still have in small pouches on your person. Anything that would be considered big enough to have to go into a backpack, assume you do not have.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of potions.
I would say potions are probably in a bag. They are not on your person.
Sending stone?
Just give me a pure luck check. Roll a d20.
Woo!
Whichever idiot searched you saw, oh look, she has a pet rock and decided to leave it on your person.
Oh hell yeah! Can I reach it if it's like say in a pocket?
I would say with a nat 20, I will respect the hell out of that roll. And yeah, it's easy enough. It is somewhere on your person, either between yourself or asking one of the fellow tieflings in the cart. Not hard for you to knock it loose and get it in your hands.
Okay, nice. Do I see anything like outside the cart? I know it's covered, but can I see anything between like flaps?
Give me a perception check, I'll say with disadvantage. Just
There.
because you're moving quickly at night through covered wagon.
The perception?
Yep.
Okay.
Still late in the evening, it's hard to get little details. You can still see flashes of the desert landscape, but not much else. Nothing that gives you like any sign of noticeable landmark or things to note like your location currently.
Um, so I've been awake this whole time. Can I get a feel for the directions that we're going in, like south, north, northeast? Because I know we were a certain direction. Draconis told me we were somewhere. I forgot. Ah, damn! I should have written that in my notes. Um, we were. Was it like northeast?
So
Almost
northeast was the
Israel.
rough direction, yeah, that you guys were heading.
Okay.
So I will say with that, you can give me a survival check to see if you can kind of best judgment, figure out which direction you might be heading.
Okay.
You're a little bit turned around, honestly.
Okay. Are any of the captors in the cart with us?
You don't see none of them are sitting in the cart bay. You assume one of them has to be, at least one of them is driving. So probably on the other side of, how the wooden cart would be, and on the other side would be a driver.
Okay. I'm gonna try and like nuzzle the stone like under like my armor or my shoulder.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna like talk into it. Fiesta. Wait, how many words is it?
25.
Five. Oh, okay. Hold on here.
Take your time. These are potentially life and death stakes. So, take your time.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Nope.
And after last session, I get to play every DM's favorite game, which is guesstimate the arrival time of every person you guys have called.
Oh yeah. You know we love making it easy for you, Roach.
Hell yeah, brother.
Avengers.
Yes, I sure.
Is Horn Hunter 2 words?
It's dashed. It's
I'll
dashed.
count it. I'll count as one.
Yes. Gotta love language technicalities.
Okay, I was northeast of Dayfarel on the waste. Horn Hunters captured me. Don't know where I'm being taken. Send mercenaries and help, please. In danger.
You wait a minute or two, and eventually you get a rapid, frantic response of somebody who was just woken up out of a deep sleep with very disturbing news. Right. I know most of those words. I will find the rest. They will all die. That's just including Valir. I gave him one job. And that's the end of the message.
Can I respond back?
Fortunately, the sending stone is once per day.
Okay, great. That's fine. That's totally fine.
Though, in a few hours, it will be a new day.
And I have no spell slots. Gosh darn it. Okay, you know what? I am going to. Actually, that's a good idea. Can I try and break out the shackles?
Sure, give me a strength check.
Okay.
Saishur, as you strain against the irons around your wrist, you can start to feel, them cut into different parts of your skin. You see just drips of blood after a few moments of just struggling hard against them. Never wanting to give up, you keep pushing against the metal. Eventually, you watch as the flap where towards the front of the cart where the driving seat would be, you watch kind of stepping over the outside of the railing of the cart, essentially going back into the covered area where the five of you are. You watch as Brial, the green skinned tiefling, kind of enters back there, just looks at you and goes, "It's really not worth it. Just give in."
Was your grief even ever real, you bitch?
I deserve that and much more. I don't blame you for being angry. I don't blame you, any of you, for what I have done and what I need to do.
What do you need to do?
I need to do exactly what we discussed, Saishor. Zepharel, for too long, has turned a blind eye to our people, to their people. No matter what they allow, no matter their circumstance, their upbringing, what role they were born into, what lifestyle they live, they allow our people to what? At a certain age, get an inkling, a guide to some home, to trek hundreds of thousands of miles through dangerous wastes, open seas, many, well, you know our people, many breaking from oppression. And what do? Survival of the fittest? Let whoever makes it be considered worthy? How many of us have they failed? How many people have traveled into the waste to never make it to Zepharel? How many have traveled into the waste to never make it back to Theris? No. I can't have it. I'm tired of watching it. So the time's come to be a little bit more aggressive.
What's your plan here? You definitely failed us in the cart. How are you helping our race, our people?
The plan is simple. I'm sorry to say. I appreciate the sacrifice all of you will make. I will make it so no tiefling makes it to Zepharel. I will make it so they have no choice but to pay attention to what is happening to our people. What do you think they will have to do if no tiefling makes a pilgrimage in 5, 6, 7 years? They'll be forced to watch. They'll be forced to do something. they will be forced to act. Will not watch the system continue to fail others as it has failed me.
Sure, very noble, but what's your plan here? Why are we being sacrificed? And what's your plan? To just kill off every tiefling trying to make a trip to Zaporel? How do you stop the guides? Do you even think this through? I'm angry too, but I would never take it out on my own people.
Unfortunately, there are necessary casualties when trying to change institutions that have been in place for a very long time. My hope, working with Zane, you see she kind of like looks over her shoulder and looks at the, listens for a second to the loud creaking of the, wheels turning through the desert. And she gathers herself. I will track every tiefling sold. And once Zepharel has been forced to act, I will implore them to do what they need to liberate every single one of them. But in the meantime, they need their hands forced. They need to know that what they are doing is no longer working.
I kind of motion for her to just like get a little closer. I just tell her like, whisper, whisper, scream. Why don't you let me help you?
A persuasion or deception check, and I, as the DM, as I'm not a fellow player, need to know which one you are doing in this moment.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Shut the fuck up.
That nat.
She's hot tonight.
That's a grandfather talking right there.
You see, she, as you, whisper as loud as you need to through the, the cart, rattling. You see, she, like, takes a noticeable step back, just almost in shock of the, very quick realization of what you were saying, and then kind of, you can't help but to see this kind of, again, she is, for as long as you've known her these last couple of days, always had this very stoic, like, sad face to her, just to the general plight of this situation. You see just a small smile crack for just a moment as she kind of steps back from you.
You've seen me fight. You know what I can offer.
I do. You would help.
Yes.
I mean, I certainly have always um road we walk is not an easy one. I've been at it for a couple years now. You would help me divert tieflings from Zephyral to force them to act.
I mean, we talked about it before. They have to do something. If this is the only way, I mean, you would know better than I do. Then this is the way.
Right. I'm. I mean, I'm certainly. Well, surprised, not shocked, if that makes sense. I knew from the moment we had our conversations that you were at least like minded in how absolutely broken this system was. Let me see what I can do. Fortunately for us, that I wasn't. Zane was only prepared for the 4 tieflings coming through on this trip, so I don't. You would have. I mean, would have been an easy sell, but you don't think have anybody, in line at the moment because it wasn't, what we were prepared for. Um, but if you're truly honest and serious, I would love to have you at my side as we do this.
Kind of just nod.
See, she kind of straightens herself. Well, wonderful. You sit tight. I will. Once we get back to the encampment, the stronghold that we have, I will figure out what this means and what our next steps are. But I'm so happy to have somebody understand.
I'm here for you and our people. So where are we heading again?
Yeah, back towards the mountain, the valley where we exited from a few days. Not honestly, if we're skirting around the edge, a few hours south of that entry, the exit that we came out of. There's a keep inside of the mountains there, that Zane and his group have, well, held for some time.
DM, can you repeat the part before a few hours south of the entrance?
Yeah, so basically she was just saying, in the the Hell Valley where you guys exited from, about a few hours south of there, somewhere in the mountain range, they have this, keep kind of built into like tunnel system essentially.
Oh, so we were right. There was a tunnel system. Mhm. Okay.
But yeah, you see, she looks at you. She kind of softly like grabs your hands that are currently shackled and kind of just like pats them. It's like, I will, I will figure this out, and I will get you out of this, and we will figure out what we do next. Thank you.
Just another knowing nod.
As she kind of finishes patting your hand, you'll see she gets up and starts to kind of like climb back over into the front. Looks back at you as she closes the flap and just kind of nods.
After a couple of minutes where she's gone for sure, I kind of just turn to the other people in the cart and I just whisper, I will not let them hurt you.
Give me, once again, a persuasion or deception check, depending on what you are trying to do in this moment. As you kind of turn and you say these words, as you kind of like look over your shoulder to make sure she was gone, you watch, and as you turn and you're saying this, you can see a noticeably at this point angry Norman sitting there clutching his sister, kind of looks at you, not quite bearing fang, but as fairly aggressive as a chained tiefling can be, softens at least a little bit. He is wary of what you just said, but seems to, in this moment, at least believe that you mean what you're saying currently. You better have one hell of a plan, because honestly, this is a little bit more than I'm prepared for.
We'll figure it out.
You see Tefet kind of like pulls her head up out of Norman's shoulder. It's like, I go, good. Um, Miss Asher, are you sure we're gonna be okay?
I think so. Do any of you guys have anything you can feel on you still? Any belongings? Even the tiniest thing could help.
I mean, I don't really carry much on me to begin with, but thankfully, one of the few things they can't take is my voice. Tefet's a bard, remember?
Okay, hell yeah.
See Norman kind of like pat himself down. It's like scraps and stone mostly, but fuck it. You get a chair leg in my hand, I'll beat someone to fucking death with it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's sit on things and let's come up with a plan. I don't have to work on himself on this. I think we're all trying to preserve our lives here. Just be mindful, aware, and quiet.
Understood. Well, we ain't gonna mean a lick to anybody if we don't get some shut eye. Let's
You got that right.
y'all ladies take some time. I'll stay up.
You know what? My man has a point. I need spell slots. I'm gonna try and sleep. I'm gonna try and get a full 8 hours.
All right. As you and reluctantly Tefet eventually find yourselves falling asleep here in the cart, Norman, just kind of watching over the four of you. Um, we cut back. The next day, gentlemen,
Yes.
Yo yo.
you have been you awoken. Calls have been made. You started to make your way, traveling through the sands. You reached out to the broker, Katori Ferdinand Clay, who, with the help of the broker, is trying to get to you as quickly as he possibly can. You reached out to Elvira to find out what Zayfarel could offer, and she told you that they already are aware of the situation to keep moving, and that help will arrive. Sunny equipped the elves who rallied behind Vinteth, their Messiah? I'm not sure which. You got a cult now. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
And he's
You
learning
pick
that what he says matters to these.
Are they radicalized yet?
100%. They're mine. They're in my pocket. They'll die for me. They'll die for the mother.
pick back up. You all have finished a night's rest close to, but not quite near the mountain range of the Hell's Valley. What would you wish to do? And just a reminder, because it's been a couple weeks, Sonny lets you know that if you got close, he could track that bitch.
He is the loc. Did he say that? I don't
Yeah.
remember that as being the words he used.
He
But-
specifically said I could locate
Yeah.
that bitch, and then went on to describe or Saishori or any of them. He does have a locate creature.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He specifically said I'm
Yeah,
gonna find that bitch and kill her, but you know,
But we do have to get within 1,000 feet for that, correct? So
thousand
didn't we?
thousand feet, but it lasts 10 minutes, so he can kind of like be a dousing rod for a little bit. So you guys are currently you've just woken up from a second long rest. You are now by the, not quite. I want to say, if I remember correctly, you were about an hour-ish away from the mountains because you didn't want to camp too close to the mountains because you weren't sure where they were kind of held up in there.
Yep.
But it is the next day. The morning is yours. If there's anything you wish to prepare, you get your spell slots back. You get any of your recharges. Can swap your spells out. But the day is yours.
We
All
said we were
salts
gonna double.
back. Very good.
Did we? This. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say this is the day we were gonna wake up and do the plan, right? With the whole
Yeah.
like the illusion thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure I had that right.
Because we went to bed earlier, so we wake up at night, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is still, the sun has not risen because
Yeah.
you're fucking elves.
Yeah.
Last you checked, Katori is on his way in some capacity thanks to the broker's help.
We're supposed to be seeking out these operatives or whatever.
When we send out illusions, are we able to make them look like they're still chained? Or is
Yeah.
it more just how we look?
That would depend on what spells you guys are casting.
Yeah.
That was That was Sonny who said he could do it, right? So, it's a question of we just have to ask for his capacity, like what he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
Sonny, how advanced exactly is this illusion before we put all of our eggs in that basket?
Well, I mean, that depended on what we were trying to accomplish. I can. What can I do here? So I can make a kind of a. I can do one of two things, but kind of depends. Some portion of us have to physically be going. The other one is I don't need anybody else to go, but it doesn't really go that far. So I can either make it look like we're all together, sad and downtrodden, and leaving, and that could go for about, 10 minutes at a time for about 24 hours. Like it only go in a certain like radius. Like it kind of like a feedback of the same thing over and over again.
Right. Hopefully enough to fool them if they happen to approach the area.
Yeah. Second thing I could do is if a couple of us weren't going to be involved in the murdering of that bitch, I can make us look like like whatever we want us to, and have them continue onward.
I kind
I
of give a
like-
glance around.
I like the second one.
But who's going to stay behind, Seven? I think all of us here want to be involved in the murdering process.
Yeah.
DM, do we know how competent those elves are? If we wanted to leave two of them behind, or however many is needed to do that plan, since that's the safer option. If we wanted to sacrifice a few fighters, but I don't know anything about how strong the elves are. I'm not sure any of us do.
Yeah, give me or some combination of you can give me what how do you measure a man?
They all shake Seven's hand, and whoever's doesn't break is strong.
Anybody has a
They're-
ruler?
They elves.
Yeah, I
I'll
would hope that
call-
the fact that they're elves would make it a little easier.
To break their hand, yeah.
Yeah.
No, for me to determine if they're strong or not, because we're also elves.
I'd say give me insight checks is the best I can equate this to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Seven would
seems
like to
fine.
scrutinize and judge them.
Oh, well, the first one, obviously.
Oh, well, hell. Yeah. I'm gonna look at them, see if I think they look strong.
Turn off that advantage roll for next time.
You know damn well I'm scrutinizing my own boys, dude.
Hell yeah. Um,
How dare you look at them harder than I do? I hate them.
Valir, you take one look at them and you're like, they're gonna die. Like you don't really need to see much. It's just they're gonna die. I don't care how strong they are. Say Ravi. I mean, they all appear to at least be of an age where, if they were Faltherian, they definitely went through their mandatory, military training, so they are at least competent in fighting.
How many times
Seven-
can they attack in 6 seconds? No.
Yeah.
2 attacks.
Seven,
I see.
7 Vinteth. On a scale of, let's say, 1 to 20, they're probably about a 5.
Oh.
That's fair.
What about aptitude for magic?
None.
No, we know they're fighters. We know they're fighters, or the
Yeah,
approximate
yeah, yeah. Well,
Alright, so Sonny, how many would we have to leave behind for that safer illusion to be effective?
So I mean, if it's people, I can make a couple. I can make a bunch of people look like a bunch of other people. I can also make bigger things look like a bunch of smaller things. So I mean, I don't know how easy this is because I've seen him do it twice. If Nature Boy over there made a couple bears, I could probably make that into like 8 people.
I mean, I could make smaller animals too. Does the size matter?
Not really. If you make a bunch of small things, I can make them look like the illusion would take. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Uh, I
The
produce.
more the more the better, because the more I have, I can make it look like us, and we can all stay.
Yeah. I guess my critters would last 1 hour, just so you know.
Hours about an hour into the valley. That's probably a good enough head start for us if you think about it. Especially if we do it close. You know what I mean? A little bit more risk that we'll get seen, but more time that they'll, be on their way.
I'm gonna whisper to Vinteth. Your elves are about as physically strong as Suji.
no, they're weaker.
We do
Oh, that's
need
a compliment.
we do need
Not that they're
numbers.
physical. I didn't say they're anywhere near as strong as you are.
I'm not doubting they're
Edge.
individually weaker than all of us, but that's not the point, is it? The point is we're facing God knows how many of these horn hunters.
I like to imagine
Suji, if you,
5 of you and Sunny are having this board council, and Vinteth told the rest of them to go over and like train in a corner.
Mhm.
Because you're having this conversation about them.
yeah, it's true. Well, we know at this point they'll do what Vintat says, so
I could tell them to kneel and die right now, and they would do it.
But
Yeah.
I
Just keep
Look,
telling them for the mother, Vinteth.
Suji, are you willing to sacrifice the spell for the day to have? There's 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To have the 3 of them come with us, it sounds like it would be a more effective illusion using your bears also versus sending them.
Oh, I'm already planning to go head first into these motherfuckers. So, yeah, I'm more than willing.
7 rubs his knuckle dusters like it's time.
Right. Well, there you go, Sonny. We'll use the bears. Sounds like that's a better illusion anyway. Better chance of fooling them. We might be able to catch them off guard a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, how many little things can you do?
I've made 8 frogs before.
All right, eight works. That actually might be better because if you think about it, so the weird thing about this illusion spell, like it kind of mimics like the parts. So if I did 4 bears, basically it would be like a front. Have you ever seen the costumes where it's like 2 humans and they make a horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, think of that, but reverse, where the horse is actually disguised to have the front end be a human and the back end be a human. So they're gonna like walk in like lockstep. That's if it's a bigger thing. If we do 8 smaller things, it'll just be around them, essentially. But there's also 9 of us. So either somebody died along the way, which is perfectly reasonable, or we left us with no weapons. Yeah, that's all I got.
That seems fine. We send the illusion. We get rolling before we lose any more time trying to chase down Zaishori. Should we? Wait, because DM, remind me. Yesterday we didn't try reaching out to her yet, right?
Negative.
No.
Okay, so maybe now that enough time has passed that now that enough time has passed that she is where she's supposed to be, it'd probably be in our benefit to reach out to her, make sure she's okay, and see if she has any information that could help. I can do one for the day before we get rolling, if that's preferable.
I think so. I think it'll be good to know that she's still alive.
How did we
Because-
forget to contact her?
I don't think it was forgetting Seven. I think it was a matter of it's very unlikely she would have told us anything of value yesterday
Hmm.
as they were transporting her. But maybe now, if they've arrived at their destination firmly, she'll have some more insight for us.
Seven just grunts.
All right, so I'll message Aishori. Let me think this out for the 25 words. So we're approaching the mountain now. We're like 100 or a couple hundred feet out.
You're about a. You
Hour.
woke up in the morning. You about an hour travel to get to the mountain. It's a matter of this was kind of like wake up planning. So how it's still very dark outside. So that's in your benefit. And that was part of the reason you guys took the early rest so you could approach at night.
Oh shit. She's not gonna be able to answer if she's asleep, right?
There's a chance she will get the message. How deeply she's asleep in her current state. You also don't know if she's asleep or not. Up to you.
Got it. Okay. I just figure middle of the night she might be, but okay. Yeah, I'll still try it. It's fine.
DM, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Am I going by the new rules for conjure animals? Because
No,
a lot fucking different.
no, please. For our sake, until I say so, go with anything that says legacy content in D&D Beyond or 5e tools. Do not use the new stuff yet because it is very different.
I was like, huh, what the hell's this? I'm like, why can't I find conjure animals that I see it? I'm like, that is not what it fucking
Hopefully
does.
by next week or the week after, I will have us all set up on D&D Beyond, which helps filter legacy content a lot better. So you guys should have better access to like looking up your shit. But yes, for now, look for whatever says 5e 2014 edition. That's what you want to use. Because we will also, I mean, I'll throw this out there now. We will have a further conversation. If you guys see anything 2024 edition spell wise that you like more, we can have a conversation, but it's a one-time switch. I will not be going back and forth between how a spell works.
Oh come on! I don't get to use the best version of the spell depending on what I want to do.
Yes.
Damn. No, but that's cool about the one time though. I didn't even expect you to do that. So that's
Again, everything can be within reason. I do not want to do a full port over to 2024 edition because that seemed like a lot of work. But if a spell inherently works better, I don't want to deprive you of that for a long period of time.
Got it.
Those are larger conversations we can have next time we do one-on-ones.
So my message is hour from mountain. Zepharel is aware of events. And find you within 1,000 feet. Any insights on approach direction or other info to help find you. I did not ask her if she was okay, but I figure if she's responding, that's as okay as we need her to be right this second. And I was short on words.
No worries. Meanwhile, we flash back a day. Saishori. God, this actually worked out really well.
Oh, in terms of the timing and everything?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Saishori. As you forced yourself to fall asleep there in the cart that As the world grows dark around you, you find yourself in a familiar inky blackness. Kind of just faint in the distance, and then kind of slowly almost coming into focus, like you know, turning the volume up on something. You're just like, holy hell, that fucking sucked. Whew.
Draconis?
Yes, hello, hi. I got ate by a worm.
How does it feel? I thought you were just poof, gone if you died.
Honestly, so did I. But here
So-
we are.
I'm honestly speechless. I was mourning you.
I appreciate your mourning. I do feel like I've been falling for a very long time, though. I don't know what that's about.
So are you back in my head or just in my dreams?
That is an interesting question that I do not know the answer to. I mean, I'm here. Are you sleeping?
I assume so.
Okay, that's a good start. So I still exist here, which is fantastic. I find I always like to have fingers. And I mean, I guess I had a tail, but it's not as cool as this tail.
So your time as a horse is over?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not a horse right now, which is an improvement. I don't know. It feels different. I'll have to unpack that later. That's me problems. What's going on?
Well, I've been kidnapped by horn hunters and I have no weapons and I'm probably hours away from everybody else.
Oh shit.
Oh shit indeed.
Huh. Well, that's certainly not good. What can I do?
There's no power you can lend me, Draconis.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, you're serious. You want from me?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't think I have that. To say I don't have the capability is not the right word. I do have the capability. I could. I just can't.
What is it like illegal?
I mean, I wouldn't call it illegal. Look, opportunities were there, and you made a choice. And I am completely supportive of your choices. I want that to be understood. I'm here no matter what journey you decide to go on, because that's who I'm supposed to be. I'm here for you. But unfortunately, right now, your power does not come from me. You have a very angry cloud to deal with.
Snaps.
Oh shit.
Do you know what the angry cloud wants?
I have no fucking. You called him! This was not on me! You would look. I need you to be completely understand about what happened. You were looking for something, and I completely understand that because what you had was utter bullshit that was thrust upon you. And I was not here to thrust anything upon you because that is not my job. My job was to make sure you were okay and that you can make the decisions that you wanted. However, when there was a power vacuum here, you decided, even though maybe I didn't say it quite directly, because that's kind of not my thing. I'm not a direct speaker. It's not what I do. That there was a chance for power from something else. You decided to say, hey, angry clown thing, how about some of that power? And that's great. I love the choice because honestly, I have no fucking clue what's going to happen now. And it's fucking great. It is utter chaos and I love it. I love it for you. I love it for me. I love that it fucks with Vindeth. Like, honestly, that is kind of the best part of all of this. But unfortunately, right now, that is what you get to deal with.
It's okay. I
But I'm
I
still
feel
here, which is
like
fantastic.
the crowd.
I'm sorry, what'd you say there?
I happen to like the angry cloud and the goals. It's
Honestly,
he such him has.
again, I'm completely on board with it. It is again diabolical utter chaos, and that is still kind of my bag, which is fantastic. And the fact that again, unlike other people, he kind of looks up at the space around him. He's not actively trying to shut me out, which means he either doesn't care that I'm here, which is great, or he's letting me be here, which is also great.
That tells me everything I need to know. I'm happy that you're here and that you're not being shut out anymore.
Fucking bitch.
Yep. Oh, you know, it feels like a bitter ex.
Look, she does not control what we do anymore.
Draconis, is there any way you can like help me out here? Like, can you sense where everybody else is? Like, do you have any skills or words that could help me right now? It's
I
nice to
find it.
have you here. Don't get me wrong. You're a great companion.
Thank you. I do find it a little bit hurtful, and but also fair that you asked if I had any skills, because I do. I do have plenty of skills. Um, it's peculiar. I don't know where we are, which I guess is normal. I can still sense where Zephyr is. There's that ping is still just somewhere in the old noggin. We're definitely moving away. Southwest? Yes. Southwest. Interesting.
Oh crap. Do you know if we're still in the waste?
Oh god, we have to be. Unless you're in a coma, in which case then we're having a much different conversation.
Okay.
I mean, I guess they could they did they seem capable of teleportation?
Couldn't tell you.
All right. Well, assuming you didn't get teleported somewhere and they're still traveling by normal means, there's at least a week plus to get out of the waste, even if they go direct. So, if this is. Oh, I should ask the question because I don't know, and I don't know how long I've been falling because I've been falling for a while. Is this the first time you've gone to sleep since you've been kidnapped?
I believe so.
How long have I been dead?
DM, it's been like
Been
a
like
night.
2 days. Yeah, this is your second rest technically since it happened.
It's been about 2 days, Cronus.
Okay, that's honestly better than I was anticipating. So yeah, by all intents and purposes, we should still be in the wastes unless they are, fast traveling. I mean, were they on horseback? I mean, I assume they're horses. Um,
We are in a cart.
well, there you go. We're fine. You're still in the wastes.
Well, good to know. Just don't want to risk losing you again.
I
I guess I
appreciate it.
don't like your company. I guess.
I appreciate it, and I'm glad we're making up for lost time.
I'll find a way to bring you back. Outside of my head.
I'm actually looking forward to that, even if I have hooves. Is that weird? Am I supposed to want? I guess I have hooves. He looks down at his like cloven foot, like devil legs. He's like, I do have hooves technically, but I never had 4 hooves with like the not less fingers, right? God, what does that say about me? What am I?
What are you?
That is a wonderful question that we will have to figure out next time. Good morning, Zashori.
Good morning.
Zashori, as you come to, you feel the rattling of the cart. You can see just kind of peering through the sides of the covered wagon, the sunlight of early morning, early afternoon. You're unsure at this point. You've been out for at least 8 hours. So you go ahead and take a long rest.
Yes.
But as you are jostled awake, you feel the carts kind of come to a stop in a kind of the difference between this cart running on sand and more of like a rocky, ground and gravel under it. Um, you come conscious as the cart comes to a stop, and you watch as several of these individuals, heavy cloaked, start to come in and one by one take the tieflings off of the cart, dragged by their chains. Um, Eventually, you two are escorted off the cart. Um, you are brought kind of in a line where your chains are hooked together between the 5 of you. You see, 2 dozen or so of these horn hunters are currently escorting you and the other 4 tieflings through. It's hard to say. It's makeshift. It is loose carved stone in places, almost a natural cavern. But you can see that there is elements of, worked floor and furniture, and almost turned a cavern into abode, essentially a stronghold, a castle. And you can see there's different furniture pieces, and you can hear the moving of people throughout. And the 5 of you are kind of taken through and down a cavern way. And give me a survival check to kind of try to clock the direct the route you're taking current. Just see how well you can memorize. Okay, 15. You're taken through kind of a central, open foyer, down a tunnel, around a corner, 15, 20 minutes further down into the earth until you are eventually led to kind of these, large, again, mini pockets, caverns that are built iron barred jail cells almost into. and you watch as they kind of split the 5 of you up, one to a cell. Give me a perception check as well. 5, okay. As you're trying so hard to clock and remember each turn, each kind of detail on the walls and the different things that you saw. You don't get a good look at as anything as you were kind of taken off of the shackle line and tossed into one of these cells. As the lock behind you, you can see directly across from you in a cell is Norman. To your right is to your right would be Breath, and you're not quite sure where the other 3 ended up, or the other 2 ended up.
Was that the bard or no?
Defets the bard. Norman is the larger male tiefling. Breath is the mother of the young child tiefling that the 2 of them were traveling together. So you saw her get put into a cell before yours. You see Norman across the way. You can see him as you look out the bars in his cell, but you're unable to make out any other where the other 2 were placed. And the best you can see, there was about 9 or 10 cells in this kind of row down here before you were kind of unceremoniously deposited into your cell.
Okay.
But as you are, you see the jailer, one of the horde hunters, kind of one by one goes to each of you, asks you for your hands essentially through the bars. Do you present him your hands?
What do I see in his hands?
A set of keys.
Okay. I will give him my hands.
Okay. So yeah, you watch as he one by one goes through. He unlocks your hands, your feet. So you're all unshackled, but you are still in this large kind of cavern cell. As he finishes collecting all of the shackles, you hear him kind of, well, get comfortable. Food will be provided shortly. Don't know how long you're staying, but you'll be taken care of while you're here. He exits.
Do I see any keys anywhere else? Like key hanging by the door? Anything?
Taking a quick glance around, you do not clock any key rings or anything kind of in your periphery. You can see, like I said, you can see the cell across from you where Norman is. You can see that there are cells to his left and right, but you can't kind of, based on the angle and how dark lit this room is, you can't really see anybody in them at the moment. And you know there is at least a cell to your right, but you're not sure about anything past that.
Damn, I have a question.
Sure.
Can I use magic weapon on my fist?
You can certainly, yeah, I believe so. Pretty sure it's any weapon.
Okay, so just to confirm, my fists count as weapons, just for future reference.
I believe so. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could pass magic weapon on a monk and they can punch things. So I'm gonna say, why not?
I am the weapon.
I had that same thought. It's like, I hope so. I've been punching a lot of shit.
Non-magical weapon until the end of the spell and spell becomes magical. I would allow it because that's fun.
Yay! Okay, okay. Just preparing my spells. Okay, is the dude with the keys gone?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna call off for Tefet and see if she's in here with us.
What do you say?
Literally just gonna call out her name.
Yes, darling.
What can your beautiful voice do for me?
Oof. I mean, right now I could give you a little bit of encouragement. Encouragement always helps. Um, if you're not feeling great, I can sing a little ditty that will revitalize some of physical essence. Um, without a little bit more of my components, it's going to be a little hard to do much else, but I can, certainly muster by with a little bit of that. Layman's terms, she can give you bardic inspiration.
What does that do?
For her, you can add a D8 to any attack roll, a saving throw, or uh, magic damage or healing.
Okay, so attack rolls or damage?
Magic damage can't be physical damage.
Magic.
The casting of a spell specifically.
Okay. Do you need some time to rest in between songs?
Not particular. I mean, I can do it a couple of times in a row. After I've done it about, I don't know, 5 times or so, I'm gonna need a break. But other than that, I can do it kind of continuously.
Perfect. Let's keep that in mind.
Understood.
Um, let's see. I'm gonna yell out and not yell out, but like loud enough. Like, first of all, are we like in a cavern right now? Are things
Kind of. It was
echoing?
definitely like a. It is definitely echoing. It is kind of like a long, like cavern tunnel that has like these like little outcroppings. They turned into jail cells.
Okay. Oh crap. Okay, so if I were to say something too loud, it's possible people outside of this little space with the cells can hear me.
Very possible.
Okay. Did I get a feel for like how many people are in this stronghold? I know like 2 dozen like escorted us here. Did I see like anything else?
Based on what you were trying to keep track of, no. So you know, the 2 dozen or so that came to, kind of raid your party, plus the ones that kind of escorted the 5 of you down here. But hard to get a full grasp of how vast this place is and how many actual people are here outside of that.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Birth.
Breath, but yeah. Yep.
Breath. Um, if her or her son have any skills.
A particular set of skills. Oh my god, yeah, because we're specifically trying to find her and kill
Yes.
everyone else.
They figured out my Taken plot.
All right, who's doing the Liam Neeson accent though?
I vote Suji.
Oh, perfect.
You're muted, Chris. You are trying really hard to hit it, and I can see that you're muted. I saw you lean into the microphone to start doing it.
A very particular set. No. I have a very particular set of skills. No, I'm sounding more like fucking Saw or something.
Yeah.
Been too long since the commercial played on TV nonstop.
It's
Good
just
luck.
the only voice Liam Neeson has. He doesn't do any other voice. It's him. Anyway,
What do you mean? As Ra's al Ghul, he no, never mind. No, he just does the Liam Neeson voice. That's fair.
yes, as you kind of lean over and speak through the cage, Breath, you can hear Breath kind of like lowly, like again, very soft spoken. Nothing. We don't really have much. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's perfectly okay. We're not all fighters, vocalists. You know,
Right. Yes. If there's anything we can do, just let us know. But we don't.
um,
We don't want to be here.
you can tell me, did you notice anything on our way in? Or is there anything you can see from your angle in the room? Are all these cells full? Do you see any keys, any locks? Do
Uh,
you remember how many people? Any little detail can help.
you see, or you hear she pauses for a moment, and then again, it's a weird sensation for you, Saishori, because you start to you hear words and you understand them, but it is something that is foreign to your ear because you've never heard it spoken to you before. But Breath starts to speak to you infernal. I figured, I mean, there's a chance some of them know infernal, but at least like this we can communicate and possibly they don't know what we're saying.
Smart.
Um, when we were coming in, I counted a dozen or so cells. The best I could see, Tefet is about 3 cells down from you. And my poor Lyle is on the same side as Norman, but about two cells down. I couldn't see if there was anybody else here, but I mean, assuming they are tiefling, they should hopefully understand what I'm saying and be able to respond.
Is it in DM? Is it intuitive? Like, I want to try and respond in Infernal. Can you let me know if it is just something that comes to? Cause like I'm hearing the words and I'm understanding them. Is it intuitive?
It is what again, it's that uncanny thing of like you're hearing the like it's almost that same sensation you had when you were reading the Infernal outside of Hell's Valley, right? Like you saw scribbles and things on the wall that you in like your brain naturally decoded essentially as like, oh, I can understand what this is saying. As she's speaking to you, you can hear the noises and like the hisses and like the like kind of guttural language that Infernal is, and it's translating in your head to words. And as you speak, it's almost like that first it's like coughing up, like phlegm almost, like just kind of like forcing your vocal cords to make noises that isn't naturally what you like. You spoke common your entire life, like you've never learned Infernal. Nobody's ever taught you Infernal, but as you kind of like push through those like kind of like almost exercising a new vocal cord or a new like muscle, like you force yourself through that initial pain of like, you know, this is unnatural. It almost eventually like starts just you're speaking. you can hear the hisses, but those hisses to you start sounding like words and phrases and things that you know. Yeah, hell yeah, you know Infernal. You've just never flexed this muscle before.
Nice.
So, for the sake of this, whenever you want to do that, whenever you're switching back and forth, just let me know. Like, in Infernal, I say this. Or I will assume, if a conversation started Infernal, I will assume you're in Infernal. But if you want to switch back or forth, just say, in common, I say blah, blah, blah. Or in Infernal, I will, say this phrase before I switch back. Just, give me the heads up of where you're saying it in.
Okay, got you.
It's kind of the rule for speaking a different language in anything, but for you specifically in this situation, just let me know when you're not in Infernal.
Okay. And just to confirm, Tefet is the bard.
Yes.
Okay, doesn't sound. Tefet is 3 cells down. Lyle is 2 cells down from Norman. Norman's across from me.
Yep.
And those are all the tieflings in the cart with me.
Yes.
Okay. Then I will say in Infernal, um, I'll ask Norman, what did he see? Anything that stuck out to him?
Say sure. It's almost kind of funny. It's like as you go through this experience, you can almost hear like almost mimicking back like those initial like stretching of those vocal cords, and that like Norman has also never had to speak Infernal before, but seems to understand it and is able to speak it. And as he is kind of like choking his way through the first couple words, is like, well, this is different. I didn't see much when we first came in. There's about maybe 30 feet or so from the first cell there's kind of like a door that we passed through. It was open when we came in, but I think it's definitely closable or lockable. Um, I don't know whether they keep it locked all the time, but definitely something that we can either a have to bust through if we get out of here, or possibly something we can barricade ourselves behind if we need to bunker down if we get out. Um, I did see at the end of this tunnel there's a wall, so it does end here. So there's no like back exit or entrance. So again, one way in, one way out, but that also makes this a choke point if we can take control of it, and then I can fucking murder a bunch of motherfuckers. I'm gonna kill so many. God damn, Tefet, can you understand what I'm saying? I'll take that as a no, or a maybe, or she's terrified of me wanting to murder a bunch of people. Either way, yes.
DM, do we see any weapons anywhere? Laying against a wall, against a door, nothing?
From your current vantage point, nobody has eyes on weaponry. Just the jail cells that you're in, the cots that you have.
Okay, we have cots.
There are
What are they made out of?
um wood, wood cot, feather down bed, like bedroll.
Okay. Um, I'll ask Norman if there's anything in his cell that he thinks he can make into a weapon. The bed's made out of wood.
I mean, like I said, I can beat someone to death with a fucking peg leg if I need to. I will, I yeah, I could. I can rip a piece of fucking 2x4 off of this and beat someone to death with it if I need to. Like, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Maybe it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, worst case scenario, I need it for long enough to beat him to death, and then I take his sword, and then I use that sword to kill the next guy. That's just how it goes.
Okay, so who here is capable of like actually fighting? I see you're ready. Is anybody else here? And there's no other tieflings in any other cell, right? Is it just us here?
You haven't heard any other responses to, you know, the fact that you're all speaking Infernal and talking about this. You don't get any other responses from any of the other cells.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So did we already get food?
I would say, yeah, food would probably have been already provided.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to
Dry
send
rations
another
and water.
message to Viesa.
Okay.
Not an infernal.
Fair enough. That is, yeah.
And just to confirm, we're hold on, let's see. Southwest from Zephyr in a mountain range.
Yep.
In a tunnel system. Okay, that is exactly what I will tell Viesa. Uh, Southwest from the away from Zephyr in the mountain range. Southwest. Never mind. I mean, do not add on to Southwest.
No worries. Take a second. Figure out your 25 words. I'm gonna run the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
At least one of you is paying attention.
Take him with you.
Yo, he's been harassing me too the whole time. Who's your boy? Yeah, I know the feels.
And we're back. Got 25 words.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you confirm if I got this right? We're supposedly southwest from Zayfarel. And Brielle said few hours south of the entrance to Hell's Valley.
So I guess it depends on both sides being an entrance and an exit. You were technically a few hours south of where you guys exited Hell's Valley. If you think about it, you guys came through it from west to east, so the exit's on the eastern side of the mountain range. So, but it's equally an exit and an entrance, but it's where you guys exited. So use that information as you will for descriptive purposes.
So a few hours south of the exit to Hell's Valley. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I am southwest from Zayfarel in the mountains, few hours south of the exit to Hell's Valley. There's a tunnel system. Contact your brother. Send army.
Glad you're alive. Not quite an army. Sending associates. We'll try to contact Vadir. Stay safe.
Okay.
Like, sure, is there anything else you wish to accomplish that day while you were kind of getting your bearings, getting your things together? You sent this message off to Viessa. Is there anything else you're trying to accomplish in that first kind of, 24 hours that you're in this cell?
I want to talk to Norman. Whisper and Infernal, if you can hear me from a whisper. What do you think about taking out the next guy that comes in here and getting his key?
I mean, if he gets close enough, I have no problem trying.
I can definitely do it. I just need to make sure that, if needed, someone has my back. I can get you out.
If you can get me out, I can get to that door. And if we can get that door closed, we at least have some time to gather ourselves.
Did it seem like the door could lock from the inside?
I mean, I didn't get a good enough look at it, but worst case scenario, we can bar it with something, right?
I guess we do have a couple cots here. Let's see what we can do. We can find.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. That is it for my first 24 hours.
Okay. As the day goes on, eventually you are, brought a second meal. They don't approach you enough to get a hand on them. You see, like there's kind of like think prison trays, and there's like a slot under the at the bottom of the bars that they slide it under. Just kind of pass you all a meal through. Your day goes. You've gotten food, very little contact other than just the five of you, well, mostly the four of you, as Tefet and Norman kind of talk a little bit more in Infernal. You see Breath is interjecting and talking as she needs to. You haven't heard from Lyle, but he's a small boy who doesn't like to, was already kind of really shy and cautious. But the first day goes uneventful. As you get to a point, you can feel your body starting to get sleepy. Natural. Even though there's no sun, the natural progression of time, you feel your body want to go to bed. Zaishori, as you bed down for the evening, about 5 or 6 hours into your rest, you hear a message kind of start. You think it's Draconis at first, and then you immediately recognize the voice is Ravi's.
I will listen intently.
You hear the Ravi message. You don't have to count it out again, Brad. You can give him the cliff notes because you already had the 25 words pretty set.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I was like, shit, I think I deleted it.
It's
So,
no worry. You can give me the cliff notes. I know you gave me 25 words. It's good.
We're about an hour from the Saishori, we're about an hour from the mountain. We can find you using a spell within 1,000 feet. Do you have any insights as to what direction we should go, or anything else that can help us find you?
I can respond to this, right?
You got 25 words. You have to count your words here because now you are responding. But yes, you have 25 words to respond.
Yeah, I wish I got. Let's see. So he said he's an hour away. He didn't give me. You didn't give me direction, right?
He just knows he's an hour away from the mountains.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we know what direction we're approaching from, right?
Yeah, we decided we were going to approach south because we came from the north.
Correct, but you don't know. You can't
Yeah.
give her direction to where she is because you just know you're an hour away from the mountains, essentially. So that
Gotcha.
information is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is a puzzle for Ray to give you as much information as possible.
Okay, and we said we're a few hours out, a few hours south of the exit in the mountain range that we came out of, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm assuming if I said the mountain range that we came out of, you guys would know. Okay. Few hours south of the exit in the mountain range that we came out. There's a keep in the mountains, a tunnel system. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have 2 words.
Hurry, bitch.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna put down back cell. Hopefully that gives them some information of like, hey, the back, the place I'm in, I have the cavern wall. I'm assuming I'm somewhere like in the back of the stronghold.
Robbie, the message was delivered as such.
Okay. I'm sorry. So, what did she say right before the back of the stronghold?
A few hours south of the exit, the mountain range that we came out.
Okay.
There's a
And then
keep
yeah,
in
the
mountains, tunnel system, cell back.
tunnels. Yep. Tunnel system to keep. Okay. Cool. So, I'll relay that to the rest of the group. Like, so we arrived. We in that initial discussion, we should let's look for the tunnels. That's what's going to get us to the keep.
DM, I'm gonna just again communicate to Norman and Infernal. I have some comrades coming. Let's see how long we can sit tight for. Tight for. Worst case scenario, we'll bust out the 2x4s. We will not let anyone in here get hurt.
You hear Norman over in the other cell. It's like, well, I've already used my nails to file one of these legs into a shiv. So
Yeah.
I'm ready.
If Brielle comes in, just know I'm on your side.
I'm trusting you. Mainly because I have nobody else to trust right now.
Give him a knowing nod.
Robbie, you have in the wee hours of the morning, you get your message back from Saishori. You have the boys ahead of you. What do you want to do?
So, we send out the illusion, and then we go to locate these tunnels.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan. I'm down.
So I'll ask the question because it's actually going to matter for us. Do we wait until we get? Because remember when we came through the cave in, the collapse, right where the exit was. Do we ourselves go over that and then illusions from there and start looking for the tunnels, or are we sending the illusions over that and then further in? It's just a matter of how much time we're saying. Like, where do we want our position to start? Like, where are we starting the illusion? Because that's gonna waste time. Because Suji said you only got an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only got about an hour, but I could probably make a bigger creature, kind of based on how strong they are. I could make some cows or whatever.
How strong they are. I mean, it matters, but I guess it's more so the fact that how long do we want the illusion to be giving us a head start for? And do we think we need to be looking for these tunnels on this side, or once we know that one fucker disappeared on the other side. Are we looking at the tunnels there? Are we going
She
for a
said,
different exit?
I believe she said that the tunnel system was in the mountains, unless I misunderstood her.
Personally think an hour will be fine. We're mostly just showing face, not really doing anything. I doubt they'll be tracking us for long.
Again, yeah. And as long as whatever you're making can scale the wall, that's all. I'm trying to make sure we're good. Because there's that giant wall of rubble that we got to get past to start the illusion on. So either they have to be the ones climbing the wall, or we're doing the illusion on the other side of the wall. You see what I'm saying? I just need to know where the illusion's starting. Because we only got an hour for when that starts.
I think we should start before the wall.
How would the illusions be climbing the wall? Are they just gonna walk around the outsides? Might be smarter to do that.
The thing becomes whatever you're making the illusion, like whatever creature you're making has to be able to scale the wall then. Because they're good. The illusion's on top of it, essentially. Right? So however they scale the wall, it's gonna look like whatever I want it to look like is scaling the wall, but it's still they have to physically be able to do so. You know what I mean? So if you make a bunch of like orangutans, yeah, we're good. It's just gonna look like a bunch of us as orangutans are climbing the wall.
It's definitely possible.
But if you make a bunch of pigeons, it's gonna look a little weird if all of us are kind of floating in the air, not touching rock, and just kind of woo. It's weird, right? And can the bears climb? It's all. We just need to understand where we are with this magic before I do it, because I don't want this to be a shitty illusion, because that's got my name on it, and I also don't want us to get caught.
Well, you're the master of this illusion. Would you prefer the monkeys, like orangutans, or would you prefer like goat? I would assume orangutans are the most similar. Us elves, gnomes, so I'm fine with that.
We start the illusion as we approach the mountain. Send them off in the other direction, yes? The direction of retreat?
Veer off about 20 minutes from here. We split off, we head south, and they head over the wall.
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, as long as you make it something they can climb rocks and they can listen to your command to just keep heading further in, we're good to go. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yep, good with that.
We're burning moonlight. Let's get the fuck out of here and go kill a bitch.
All right, so we've got our plan in place. We can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, in the wee hours of the evening, continue on your way. About 40 or so minutes, you can see the silhouette of the mountains in the moonlight. Eventually, Suji, use your spell to conjure 8 orangutans, monkeys. You watch as Sunny weaves a spell, and these monkeys take the form of the 5 of you, himself, and 2 of the elven gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Send them on their way, and we'll start skedaddling south.
Skedaddling.
We're doing it.
As the orangutans, disguised as the rest of you, start to continue on their way towards where the Hell Valley Tavern is, where that exit was that you guys flew over, and they start to make their way that way. You all begin to head southward closer to the mountain. I would like a stealth check from all of you. That's not so
So as we're doing the illusion,
Yep.
no, because I forgot Suji can't do that because he's got to do the bears or the other animals.
Before we do this, since I know it's gonna be a stealth mission, can I still get my elf boots that make me quiet, or no?
Were your elf boots in the bag?
Yeah.
Because they were not currently on.
They're on me.
Oh,
They're not in the bag.
Oh, there you go.
yeah. I had the spider boots, or the
You have the
spider
spider
boots were in the
boots,
bag. Yeah.
which you still have on. They didn't take our clothing.
Okay. All right. Well then,
You
damn.
said
Yeah.
So then I would have advantage on the stealth roll.
Yes.
Okay.
What the fuck's this spell called again? Because I don't know.
Pass without trace.
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah,
make
it's past that. You have to concentrate on that though, right? Phil?
It is
That's
equally
what I'm
concentration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which an hour from now, once your conjure animals is done, you can do, but for this initial approach of the mountain. Fortunately, this is all natural, baby.
Yeah.
I need Vinteth.
I thought I clicked. I hovered it.
All right, let's see if the
As I
other three
see
can
Suji
save
trip
this.
over his own 2 feet, I'd like to spin back time.
If I can turn back time.
Time. God
Still
damn it,
tripping.
Suji!
I tripped a
You're
little less
supposed.
hard.
You can turn into animals, and you're this clumsy.
I'm not a monkey right now. You're being a little loud. This is your
Yeah,
fault
fine.
if we get
That
caught.
was in the harsh whisper. You're being. You're.
So, as you all, for the most part, quietly, as you watch the orangutans in the night go towards the valley exit that you had all come from, start to make your way further south and towards the mountain, picking up for each other, you try to quietly make your way through the desert and eventually do hit kind of the base of this mountainside. You continue further south as you have been instructed. Sunny kind of whispers over to all of you. So, are we gonna hit a little bit south and then look? When do you want me to pop the thing? Start looking. Should we wait until we find the tunnels, or are we gonna wait, like use that as a way of possible? I don't know how far deep they are.
Wait,
Well, you find the
unless
tunnel.
anyone has a better idea, we probably just. You're right. We have to guess at how far in they are. But the question is, do we want the illusion now while we're looking for those tunnels?
Well, illusion's already going. That's gone. Happened already.
You don't have to worry about concentrating on your other spell.
Oh no, semen ain't no concentration. That's just a spell. They like that for 8 hours, but it's gonna disappear after the hour that they're gone. So
Should we try to spot a horn hunter first, or do we want to use it now? Can you do it multiple times in a day?
I can do it. Double checking spell slots. Fifth. This level. I can theoretically do it 4 times. 5 times if I want to tap into my highest level.
This is a lot of times.
I mean, it's a lot of my highest level spells, but I can do it.
I mean, can I do a perception check if I notice anything related to horn hunters right now? Any loose arrows, anything on the ground?
Sure, give me a survival check.
Good idea. Nice.
Suji, you don't see anything in your immediate vicinity, but you also know, I would say with that survival check, that this close to the mountain, unless they are actively doing so, it's going to be harder for the wind to kind of sweep away tracks. So if you get close to wherever they were heading, there's a better chance in this period of time you might find where the horses had to have gone in the sand. But you don't see anything in this immediate area right here where you are. So I double checked it. Locate creature lasts for an hour, which is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that is really solid. So definitely gives us some time.
Yeah, we essentially got 4 hours to search. 5 if I want to tap myself out, but you know, I know they said from sounds of the message a few hours south of here. Maybe we keep going south and see what happens.
Yeah, I like that. Like every hour we start looking for the tracks.
Say we travel a little bit more first before we pop the first.
Oh, yeah.
1,000 feet's a long range, but it's not much actually compared to a mountain of this height. You have the most experience with this skill. If you think it's time, Sonny, go for it. But I don't see any.
Yeah.
I want to.
If he does it before we find the tunnels, it's just going to give us a general. Assuming we're that close, it's just going to give us a general direction, and if not, it gives us nothing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Well, why don't we spend a little time looking now? See if we can see any, anything, and then he can pop the spell from there.
Yeah, I would think we would at least want to be in the mountains before I pop it, right?
Yes.
Outside here, we're still probably a little far out unless it digs back into the earth. But I think as long as once we find our way into the mountains, that probably helps us a little bit.
All right. Let's keep walking first, and then see if we can find tracks on the way before you have to find it while we're in the mountain.
Ravi,
Mhm.
as you are continuing on your way further down, you get a message in your head.
Okay. And what's up?
It has to be pretty important for them to ask me for help. I guess they knew I owed you a favor.
So I would know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I thought we were even. This one sounded fun. See you soon.
Miss you.
Who do I recognize that voice?
Ravi, you 100% recognize that voice. That voice comes from Simon from the bar.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
My man.
Wait, we were even, right? Because I did him a favor, so he doesn't actually have to help us.
No,
Okay, I was just curious because I was like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't owe me anything, but
it's true.
But it's fun.
well, that's something, and I really don't want to blow the magic to send a message back to him right now, since we might be confronting it today. But I must admit, I'm. Oh wait, no, I can still respond to him. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind.
You can
I
also
completely forgot.
discuss. You can discuss before you intend to respond if you would like.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll let everyone know. I'll just say what happened. So I don't know who they are. I'm guessing probably the broker, since we did alert him as to what was going on. Then Simon is a local after all. But how exactly he's going to get here, where he is, how he'll help, not really clear. I haven't responded to him yet. I could be vague and just simply thank him and tell him we'll see him soon, or I don't know if he needs any information to find us. He sounded very sure that he would, but
Well, he is part of that. Wait, he was part of the group that my sister sent, right? Yeah. Yeah, he was part of that group that my sister hired to hunt me down. So I'm pretty sure he could find us easily. I'm so glad I bought him a drink one night.
The more the murderier.
Man, Simon has been around. Sorry, I'm just going through my
Yeah.
notes. Like he's popped up sometimes.
Yeah, heck yeah,
He's-
man.
He is scattered through. Anyway, sorry. He's scattered through the story, man. Yeah.
Oh.
So, I think I'm just gonna tell him we'll see him soon and let him know we're on the way to save Zaishori in case he's not already aware.
Yeah.
Right. Uh you owe. This is to Simon.
Yep.
Yeah. You owe me nothing, but we all appreciate the help. We're on the way to save Zaishori from the Horn Hunters. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Sooner than you think. Turn around.
Wait. I didn't know it. I was like, he messaged me back that quickly. Oh shit. You know how to make an entrance, don't you, Simon?
Gentlemen, it's been some time.
Simon.
Where the
funny enough, speaking of
fuck?
names,
Did anybody notice him show up, or he just appears?
Until he
I don't
said
think
anything,
anyone noticed.
nobody saw him coming.
He wanted the dramatic movie entrance, so he waited for his moment and then he took
Holy shit!
it. Simon, did the broker ask you directly for your help?
No, I'm here under a different contract. Valia, your sister is very upset with you.
yeah, I figured as much. Seeing as her, I guess, new best friend, kind of got out of my sight. But
I was given the words that her only friend had been kidnapped under your watch. That was literally the only thing she asked you to do.
I mean, listen, there was essentially a whole army against us. There's only so much I can do. One of and I kind of like gestured to Rob. One of us like almost died here. Like I couldn't fight everybody. I could handle it, but I gotta watch out for everybody else.
I have no judgment, but being able to wipe my slate clean and help all of you is worth it.
Good to know.
Man,
Appreciate you're here.
Simon, we really do because honestly, there were a lot more of them than we expected. I'm not proud of the fact that we got taken down by them, but to our credit, there was a traitor amongst the other group of them.
There always is.
I guess we should learn to.
Looks at Vinteth.
I knew you motherfuckers would be looking at me, so I had to make a face.
For the
If I leave
mother.
you, if I leave you with anything, talk to everyone, suspect everyone, trust pretty much no.
We'll start taking that lesson to heart after this whole experience. I assure you of that, Simon.
So, what are we looking at? What do we have? What do we not have? What do we need? Who do we have coming? What do we got?
We have a Sunny. We have.
We
He looks at you see Sonny's like ready to pop off with a spell. Like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
Sonny, it's okay. Yeah, we have us, an eccentric but certainly powerful wizard. A few elven fighters who are surprisingly dedicated to Vinteth over there.
For the mother!
Katori, I like whisper this one. Katori mentioned being launched here somehow. Do you have any idea what he was talking about?
Did he say how?
He said, DM, he said catapult, right?
Catapult.
He mentioned a catapult, but that doesn't really make sense.
I'm going to assume you talked to JJ.
Indeed,
Yeah.
I did.
You see, he starts looking up at the sky. Just,
Oh my god.
how long ago was this?
What was that? That was last night, right? We had that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Last night, so it's been some time.
I don't believe he was being launched at the moment. Of us
Oh yes, he was
speaking.
on his. He was on his. He said he was on his way to the spot. Which I don't know what to tell you there. That's But so regardless, we might have Katori in some form, assuming he's all right, following impact.
Probably. Wait. Since you're one of the ones who figure stuff out more, why didn't the broker just use the catapult with us?
I would assume that whatever this method is very unsafe, and I doubt that we would have been as okay as Katori may find himself.
Better not be like that one book I was read as a child. Some wizard sends a bunch of elves on an adventure to destroy something, then just last moment flies in with an eagle. Like nothing fucking matters. Oh, that made me so mad. Can't even remember.
And Elvira said there's help already coming to us. We just continue on our way.
Yeah, so there might be others, but personally, I'm going to move forward under the assumption it's just us. And right now, we are outnumbered. If the help comes, then fantastic. But let's plan to go it with what we have. We face at least 40 of them, possibly more. But those are the ones who came out to confront us. Their leader is a powerful fighter in his own right.
Well, certainly sounds interesting.
Apparently, his name is Zane.
Zane, yes. I might have not heard that one, while unconscious.
We would have told you.
I know, just being cheeky.
Next to you.
Are you kidding me?
15 feet radius
My
crater
gosh.
Oh my god.
in the ground. You watch a hand, tiny hand, crawl out.
Oh,
Second tiny hand. Holy shit, that was the worst fucking experience of my fucking life.
My God.
Abby.
they found
Oh,
You watch as a familiar sorcerer crawls out of the crater.
why did they catapult Betty?
And as he emerges, you see behind him, walking out of the crater with his cane first. I told you to brace for impact. I don't know what else to tell you. Oh,
Wait, Babby! I've seen you teleport.
what?
Why would you choose this?
I didn't do shit. This motherfucker found me, grabbed me, and said, "We're going somewhere." And next thing I know, I'm flying through the goddamn air, and we just crashing into a goddamn crater in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Gabby, that sounds traumatizing, but what if I told you you're going to help take down an evil organization of people who prey on innocent tieflings?
Am I getting paid?
I mean, sure.
In friendship. And,
I can show you how I eat people.
and to Katori, I say while casting a spell, glad you found Babby. I'll cast level 2 healing word +5 modifier.
Oh yeah, he was not an easy one to find. I was actually in the middle of corralling him in the middle of small town outside of Glairedan. He was none too keen to come along, but I told him he had no fucking choice, as he is needed back in Ashfeller. And then you all decided to contact me, and therefore I thought, well, if my services are needed, certainly we could use one of the best wizards in all of Zelenkov to aid us in the rescue of the person who made you not a chicken. Remember that?
that is true.
Valid.
I reserve the right that I chose to be a chicken. Yeah, how are your dumbass gonna not be a chicken when someone tried to fry me?
I would just look to Vinteth for a moment just to try to whisper. He's one of the strongest mages in Zelenkov?
Apparently.
Right.
I'm just gonna think those. Did they forget he removed himself from fate? This is just to me.
Babby?
Yeah.
Babby removed himself from the fate line. That was his whole shtick.
Yeah.
That rings a bell, but I did not remember that.
You know,
Babby
the
is
fact
no
that he
longer.
owns a magic shop and all that shit would
Yeah,
really good
Babby is
When
one of the few.
did he mention that to us? I'm sorry.
Like when early
Like
on,
him and
first,
Early.
Ned.
early on.
Oh, that's probably why
Beginning, yeah.
I didn't think about it at the time much.
Yeah.
He removed himself from the fate stream.
Huh.
Yeah. If you don't
Yeah, because
remember,
I have
Ned-
something about him dabbling in soul magic, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's that or if that's something also different from that.
About the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't write it specifically enough. I didn't remember that.
You watch as Simon kind of like rubs the bridge of his nose. Right. Well, this is going to be certainly fun. Right, so resources we have. 5 of you. Myself. Terry. Babby. Another eccentric wizard.
This is
Damn,
That does
she's
seem
great.
to that does seem to be how it goes. It seems as if a little eccentricity comes with the package.
I'm used to it at this point. 3 dedicated to the cause elves.
Yeah. Meat shields.
Yeah, we
I didn't
don't
say
call
that.
them that in public, Seven.
I'm sorry, I have to learn that.
Right. So the
What is it? You call it tact, right?
12 of us versus 2 to 3 dozen plus a commander, and if we can get Saishori out, 1 or a couple more. Is that what
Right.
we're looking
Yeah.
at?
Yep.
Yeah, there could be a fighter scattered amongst them, but don't count on any of the other tieflings to fight besides her.
He looks over at Katori. I mean, we've done worse before. Ugh, you can say that again. I've been itching for a fight for quite some time, actually.
Oh,
Tired of
other
it.
resources. Sorry, if we can manage to sneak in, we do have a purple worm bait bag that was used against us. We may be able to lure one of the creatures in prior to any of the fighting, and that could be a good distraction and something that could take a few of them out for us. But it would require us to try some stealth beforehand when we find the camp.
Cool. Good to know. Um, mind if I see?
Sure. I'll go into the bag of holding. I will pull out the bait bag and hand it over.
Cool. Simon takes a look at it. Good sign. Good fodder. All right. Here's what you need to do. Listen to me very carefully here.
Mm.
That bag of yours, I'm assuming, cuts off from this plane.
Correct.
Every half hour or so, until we find where this fucking base is, you need to take this out for about 5 minutes at a time.
Mm.
If you want this to be useful, we need the worm nearby.
Got it. Not a problem. I will start that now, and I'll keep it out for 5 minutes as we keep talking.
Simon hands it back to you. All right, tactical ability is up to me. I will assess what we got. I'm going to assume from the numbers that we're looking at probably 2 fronts. We're going to want an extraction team, and we're going to want a shock and awe team.
Shock and awe.
Shock and awe better be able to hold their own against oppressive fronts and be able to get out quick. Looks over at Babby. You can handle that? Yeah, I can get us out here if we can get out here. It's fine. From the sounds of it, well, I should ask all of you. What's our goal? Get the prisoners and get out? Or total destruction and then get the prisoners and get out?
I would
Little-
personally like to
little bit of
murder
both.
every last person in this group, and at least for a while, deter anyone who thinks about becoming a horn hunter. I think they deserve it.
Agreed. And I'm sure once we get Sai Shuri, she will have the same sentiments of just annihilating everybody there.
But look, worse comes to worse. If we really get overwhelmed, then yes, we get the prisoners and we get out.
All right. Step 1, we find where we're going. Step 2, we start to divide and conquer. Let's take a stock of what we got here, who we got, what everyone's going to focus on. Do a little recon, figure out what they got going on, and how we can infiltrate and start moving our pieces through the board. Should be pretty simple. I've done worse with less. All
We
right.
did get stripped of some of our main weapons, but I think we're pretty much fully capable.
Is retrieving them an
we're
option?
Could be. We can find them.
Is that optional or is that necessary? You know, right now.
Necessary.
Necessary.
All right. What is the most necessary point? Getting the weapons back or getting the people out? You need to tell me right now what the priorities are before I start fucking making a plan. You understand me?
Zaishori, weapons, the rest of the people.
I didn't expect anything less. But
to be fair, I'm surprised he said Zaishuri first.
I have to appease you guys. Because one of the weapons is people.
to Tinkers. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm glad he said it.
That's why we have Vint at the round, right? He says the shit that we want to say, but he'll say it because
That's right.
That's him.
That's right.
Right. You survey the scene. We find out where the where the armory is. Now, this could be a combination of three things. Do we want 3 parties going in? Shock and awe to distract. 1 extraction team for the prisoners. 1 extraction team for the weapons. Or do we send everybody after the weapons or after the people? And once we get the people, we get the weapons. And if we can't get the weapons, we get the fuck out of there.
I think it's probably that one. I think having Zaishori at our side will be an asset.
Mhm.
I'd like to free her before we make the final push.
If we're killing everybody anyway, what's stopping us from taking the weapons?
What if we
But
don't
the
go?
point is,
Yeah.
what if we get overwhelmed, Vinteth? We saw what they were. They're just by sheer numbers, like fucking cockroaches.
Whose lives are not important?
I'm just gonna stare at Babby.
I'm gonna point at the 3 other elves.
Right. Well, again, that's where it becomes a point. You're staring at Babby.
I'm staring at Babby. Babby, if he's one of the most powerful fucking wizards on Zelenkov, I'm sure he could probably solo this mission somehow. But
Maybe he was just getting hyped up. Huh? Katori might have just been hyping him up. Huh?
Man,
Maybe.
we need Robert Garan here. That's what we needed.
yeah, the fucking archmage, whatever the fuck he is. Come on. I want my hammer.
I can do a lot. I can't I don't murder people. That's not my goal. Like, I'm an enchanter.
Yep. You can look at my.
So enchant things to murder people.
I did that already. Did you see his knuckles?
Yeah.
It takes time and precision.
Babby, this is the first time I get to use them.
That's actually pretty sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, besides the point, yes, I can do some things. I can help. I'm a support mage. It's what I do. I'm gonna go drop a bunch of fireballs and meteor swarms on people. That's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his job, as I point to Sunny.
Yeah, Sonny, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about him not being a combat mage?
Yeah.
I mean, that's his role in life. He decided to work on enchantments and making things cool. I can't fault it. I'm more shock and awe. I'm gonna blow some shit up and kill a bunch of people. That's what I'm here for. Woo!
Never change. Never
I'm
change.
gonna ask Sonny if it's okay if he goes on my shoulder. He's now.
Carrying the fucking the mage artillery cannon on fucking Seven's shoulder.
Yeah, he's got a rocket launcher.
Ride him into battle.
Yeah.
All right. So, plain and simple. This is what we got going on right now. Sounds like we're going 2 parties then, not 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
2.
People to distract the main force, pull as many of them out as possible, murder as many people as possible. That's kind of where I come in. Infiltration unit, going in deep, finding the prison cell. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Going in deep, finding the prison cell, getting Saishori and other possible prisoners out if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
She might fight you on that to make sure they get out.
That's up to
It's
you.
not
guys.
much she will.
That's not my prerogative. Anyway,
That's a her problem.
you go in.
Yep.
Infiltration team goes in, gets Saishori, possible other prisoners. From there, find armory where they are keeping whatever it is they fucking stole from you, because it seems important. Sure, I understand. Trust me, I get it. No worries. Get your shit back. Once you get your shit back, we are doing 2 things. We are either exterminating the presence, or if we cannot, we are extracting everybody.
Yes.
That's our game plan.
Yes.
The Avengers are assembling, and he's Tony Stark.
All right. Cool. So first things first, we find where the fucking cave is. Once we do that, well, before we do that, we should decide what our party of members are going to be, who's going where, what we're doing, how we are proceeding. But we can think about that. We have some time. Let's start looking for this fucking entrance.
Yes.
Any
agreed.
questions?
Let's. None at the moment.
Anyone need shit?
Like what?
What do you have?
What do you need? How are you doing on potions? How are we doing on equipment? Who's got weapons? Everyone got weapons? Anyone got something to fight with?
I am a weapon. We have no potions.
Wait, did they steal our potions?
They would have, yes.
Oh, okay. So we had a stock, but they were taken.
Unless they were in the bag of holding, which they did not take the bag of holding. Any potions in the bag of holding would be fine. I would say that.
Yeah, so you probably still have your
okay.
personal
All right,
potions,
so,
yeah.
So I have a few then. Then yes, but not. Yeah, we don't have many.
Right here, you see, Simon goes into a pouch, puts a sack of like 6 vials on the table. Split them out if you need 6 lessers. Pass them out. Do what you gotta do.
Like,
I'll work within my I'll work within my personal stash. You all can take what you need.
Cool.
taking one.
I'll take one as well.
7 won't.
Nikolai will go over. It's like, who needs a potion? I can get potions.
Yeah.
Nikolai has been here the entire time.
Yeah.
He has been completely ignored.
Yes, but he knows he's not a
Oh,
meat
fuck.
shield.
Oh yeah, Nikolai is still shit. We were like, what are our resources?
To be fair, we have to somewhat protect him.
Yeah.
Oh, Nikolai.
I am the
Nikolai-
potion boy.
They took all of your potions, though, right?
They did, yes.
Yeah.
I was a potion boy without potions. It felt bad. Right. Good to know, I guess. Cool. Everyone good on weapons? Everybody good on bullshit they might need?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, step 1, we survey these mountains. We find what we need to find. We find an entrance to wherever this band of assholes is hiding up, and then we split up and proceed to, from the sounds of it, cleanse them from this earth.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
And Suji whispers something secret to Babby.
It's a secret from everybody.
Oh, that's all it is. I'm already planning this fight.
I mean, yeah, I could probably do that. That's within my wheelhouse.
Sounds good. Have
Yeah,
a plan.
sweet. Cool. So as you've now gathered with your new allies here outside of Hell's Valley Mountain, as you continue to look for paths that lead beneath to rescue Saishori, reattain your pilfered weapons and holy symbols and everything else that's important to you. Saishori, as you beneath rally the tieflings for whatever it is that you need them to do. That is where we'll go ahead and end tonight's session.
No, fuck you, they're dying tonight.
We are gonna kill all of them tonight, Roach.
No, sleep till murder.
There is a lot of planning. I threw you guys all. You called the right people. The woodshed has been opened. I am giving you guys the opportunity to plan.
Bet.
Oh yeah, planning time.
We still haven't met up.
No, that
All
is-
right, so we have Simon, we have Babby, and we still haven't met up with Elvira's operatives yet.
We have Katori as well.
And Katori, yeah.
So just let's assume, just like everything else that Zay Farrell does, that they're going to be incompetent and not show up. And again, just assume that what we got now is what we're going to get.
Damn.
I mean, it's just observation at this point.
I mean, it's fair. That was Brial's entire statement.
I just
Which I
imagine
hope-
we lose the fight a bit, and we're like, the Tiefling army will be here anyway. Anytime soon, and Brial just says, "Right, I'm not fucking down it."
No, they're coming!
I'd be so happy to die to that. Like,
The
that would be
tieflings are
so
coming!
good.
They said they were.
We got this. I'm so excited for next week. It's gonna be so violent.
Rose, I will tell you this. I gave it a 35% chance that you heard Brial's story and said, "Yeah, fuck it, I sign on." Like I gave you a percent chance of like, yeah, I'm gonna be in on that. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's go.
That nat
Yeah,
20, man.
that seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Two naps in one session. Was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Big
I'm
roller.
curious what it. You don't have to tell us, but what was the DC on convincing Brial, if you were willing? Huh?
So it was different if it was a persuasion or a deception.
Mm.
She was much easier going to be persuaded that she wanted Zaishori on her side because her and Zaishori had a very deep conversation. Had you not had the conversation with her the night before, where you were definitely like on that same page of like, yeah, fuck Zayfarel, they have to do something. That DC would have been a much higher. But like the fact that you went for persuasion and you were on that board of like, yeah, she's kind of right. Like, you know, like they need to do something. You know, that DC was much lower. So you
She's
picked
right, but also fuck her and her sacrifice.
Yep.
Yup.
I picked persuasion just because it was charisma.
I mean, so is deception, but that's
Oh, I'm proficient. There we go.
Proficient in lying, no wonder.
Perfect.
Like there's a number 7 next to my persuasion.
Yo.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys have at least a week to figure out. You know, you have for the 5 guys here. You guys have the army at your this grouping at your disposal. How you want to split them up? Who's going?
We can decide the shock and awe and the stealth teams and like what the general plan is.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
I volunteer
Sounds
for
good to me.
shock and awe.
I have a bard and Norman.
Pretty solid group.
Me and my 5 other tieflings.
Yep.
Hey, at a bare minimum, they can all cast Hellish Rebuke if they're hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Saishori pulls the small child in front of her.
Oh, no. Now, okay, yeah, and we are getting in trouble for calling our people meat shields. She's throwing children out for Halloween.
Hey, at least it's for a purpose.
It'll be
Right.
fine.
Yeah, for the record, and this is above the board stuff. Yeah, Saishori, you reaching out to Viesa was the only reason Simon's here.
Huh?
Oh shit!
Yeah, man.
How does she know Simon?
Former leader of the 3-piece mafia.
They're the ones who went to go look for me. Also,
Yeah, and then Simon realized he was too cool for those guys,
Bro,
and it was time for his solo act.
okay, so how did he get here so fast, man?
We don't know.
No,
Listen.
we don't know what he's he's really capable of.
No.
Interdimensional travel.
Maybe it was here all along.
Listen, it just sounds. It was a good idea. Seven did not try to fight him early on because that would have
Yeah.
been.
Oh, in the bar?
It
Oh my
would've-
god, it would have been
Had
destruction.
he fought you seriously, you're dead in less than a round. No.
Oh
Like,
man.
You don't get a turn, and he probably doesn't finish his turn.
Oh my
Plain
Oh my
and
god.
gosh.
That's
Wow.
a lot.
So yeah,
Side.
reaching out to Viesa, as panicked as you were, got Simon here. The timing on when you reached out to Katori, because of how long it's passed, he got to fucking Babby and has Babby with him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Had
because
it
we
been
knew
a couple-
Katori was looking for him anyway. Yeah?
Had it been a couple days earlier, he would have not had him.
Really?
And then you'll find out what you need to find out about Elvira later. 'cause
Hey.
that's
Mhm.
fun.
'Cause, yeah.
I'm-
I gotta remember to check this attitude if he actually comes through. Be like, whoa, you actually did something for the tieflings. I mean, I can't.
All right.
I definitely think a tactical move is trying to escort everyone out first because those horns are worth so much money. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no.
Like,
Form up, tiefling formation. It's just a circle of tieflings.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a good session, and
Yeah, that was
again,
good.
Saishori / Rose, I appreciate your responses to a very it's a strong moral dilemma of like she has a reason, but also she's kind of batshit crazy.
Literally.
Yep.
I would have been
I
on
think-
board until she called me and everybody else on the car to sacrifice. So I'm like, okay.
I think it was good manipulation, which Zaishori will need to practice if she's going to bring her new religion to the masses.
You got your
All right,
interesting interaction with Draconis and your new god, and it's great. It's, fun stuff.
I like him. He lets Draconis live where he's supposed to live.
All
I
right.
want
I'm down to.
God.
I am down to strategize. Via chat.
Yes, sir.
Discord or text. So
Yeah.
whichever. If we want to talk that through over the week, at all before the next session.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm gonna head off.
All right. Good night, stream.
Yeah.
Bye,